Hello YouTube, it's me, Courtney, ECPI RN student, currently in term 10, I believe. I'm pretty sure it's 10, taking maternal newborn nursing. I have not been available to you all, and I really want to apologize because this class has been really heavy. I really like to keep everybody abreast of what's going on. But this class has been super heavy. So as far as the workload, I wrote everything down. So we have quizzes, and the quizzes, we have, I believe, 6 quizzes that were due throughout the term on different days, and it's 2 to 3 chapters per quiz, and they're all done through the Prep U program under the book. Sorry, my dog is in the background. She's in the cage. She's pissed. So that's what you're hearing. But anyway, so all of the quizzes are through the Prep U's, and you have to get a level 7 mastery. And a level 7 mastery, so you have the option to do either 5, 10, or 20 questions per quiz. And with each quiz, I do the 10 question, I use the 10 question option because that's all I can really handle. 20 is way too much for me. But anywhere between, I'm finding I'm averaging about 10 to 12 quizzes. And I usually get no less than 7 or 8 questions correct. So that's how many questions I'm having to do per chapter. So that's between like 100 and 120 questions per chapter, and each chapter has like per chapter, whatever. It's like 3 quizzes that you have to do, and each quiz takes between 100 and 120 questions in order to get to the level 7 in order to get 100%. So that's one. So each quiz is between 300 and 400 questions that you have to take in order to pass it. Okay. Now, we also have an OB project. The project is 57 questions, and each question, unless it is a dosage calculation question, has to have a reference to it, and you have to give like this great detail. So she gives you a scenario, and the scenario was of a young woman that she was maybe like 22 years old and came in for preterm labor, and her last period was December, and this is August, so she's like 32 weeks, so you have to calculate that, and where are we, and then she's in preterm labor, and these are the medications, and you have to explain those, and then moving on, okay, now she's in preterm labor, these are the medications, explain those, and why was this, and was this, and was that, signs and symptoms of this. It's pretty extensive, but it's an exam grade. So I made sure that I really tried to dedicate as much to it as possible. And I've been working on it for a while. I got finished with it today, but I've been really putting a lot of time and energy into it for the last like 3 or 4 days, more so than I've been putting into it prior to this session or prior to that time frame. So we also have drug cards. We have 18 drug cards due tomorrow, which I got done with those today, thank God. But they have to be handwritten because there have been issues with plagiarism before for this particular instructor, so she just prefers it. And then we had our, as far as clinicals, so we had 3 clinicals. 2 of them were in person, 1 was virtual, and 1 of your 2 in person, you had to do a care plan, which I got done majority of the care plan while I was there during my first in-person clinical. So that worked out great. I had a great nurse, Abby, and she really showed me the ropes and told me everything that I needed to know. And I felt like I learned a lot there with her. Also, the doctor, who I cannot remember his name, he was great as far as teaching. I actually helped deliver a baby, and it was a vaginal delivery, and the baby, came out. There were no meds. This was actually this woman's 9th child, so she was well versed in everything. And when the placenta came out, the doctor actually, slammed it down on the table and flipped it around and showed me everything with it, and I was just like, oh, I'm gonna go down. but I didn't, thank God. It was a lot of learning going on during my first clinical, so that was great. Then I had the virtual, and then yesterday, which was Saturday, I did my second in person. So I'm done. I had to switch around with a couple people because I had I'm on call for one weekend and just different stuff going on. So it worked out as far as scheduling goes. We also had an ATI for maternal newborn. There has been a lot of drama this term, and our instructor, she grades really hard. She is, I don't want to speak a whole lot about that. There's been a lot of drama, and that has played a great role in this term, period. And so that's where I'm at. So I don't even want to comment too much on that, just because this is an open forum. But that situation is what it is, and we just have to deal with it. A lot of people, maybe not a lot, but a significant amount of people are not doing as well in her class. I am kind of right on the border. I think right now my average is like an 85, and 80 is failing, or less than 80 is a failure. So as long as I get through this next exam, we have 5 exams, including the final, which is cumulative. So we've had an exam every week, with the exception of the first week. And on this last week, which is this week, we have our 4th exam tomorrow. And then on Wednesday, which is the next class day, we have our final, as well as the ATI retake for anybody who did not pass. So we had quite a bit of drama on the ATI day, and a few of us had already started taking our ATI test, and then the drama happened and we had to pause the test. So my mind wasn't in the same place that it was after the altercation that occurred. So I didn't think I was going to do so well, but I passed. But we still have to do the focused reviews for those. And we had to take 2 practice ATI tests to add on to the workload that I was speaking about previously. 2 ATI practice tests, and then do the focus reviews for 1. And the focus reviews are pretty much any section that you got less than a 70% in, you have to do templates. And you got templates for the concepts and diagnostic procedures, medications, whatever. But you have to go back in and do the templates and write those out. And so that is another assignment that had to be done. So the 3 clinicals, we also had 3 patient sims, which they weren't until the last 3 weeks of the term. So I've done 2, and then I have another one to do this week on Thursday. And then that class will be over. And I am at the point, I really just want to just get through this and be done. I learned quickly that maternal newborn is not the floor that I want to work on. I'm just not set up for that at all. My first clinical, I actually helped deliver a baby, so that was great. It was an experience. Nothing I want to, redo though. So that's just that. I've had to actually break down and study this term. I hate saying that I don't study because I feel like it sounds super cocky, and that's not what it's meant to be, but I do really try to pay attention in class. But I'm finding with this instructor, even if I do just simply sit and pay attention in class and read the additional notes that she has on the PowerPoints that she gives, and kind of dabble into the text a little bit, and on top of the prep use, my test average is still like in the low 80s. So I'm doing a lot, and then I'm doing an additional, some additional studying outside of that. So this term has been really heavy, and I really do apologize that I haven't been able to update you all as much as I frequently would, or really any better than this. Going a whole term without saying anything is insane, but this term has been intense. So I just want to say that maternal newborn nursing is difficult for me, and the workload is heavy. I'm not sure if it's for the instructor. Per the instructor, the questions that we get on the test can be worded, in a way that kind of makes things a little bit more difficult. And it is what it is. it is what it is. Get through it. And that's where I'm at. A lot of additional things have been happening. The positives. I do have study aids available. I came across someone that had like an OB study aid, and then they were like, oh, I got this MedSurg one too. And the MedSurg one is actually really good. So either one of those, if anybody wants it, I can email it to you. They're pretty good. They're quite extensive. I'm going to go and get them printed out at Office Depot and like wire bound and everything, because I think they are needed. For me anyway. So if you like, things that condense information down and you want it, let me know and I can send it to you and it won't be a problem. And they cost money. So, somebody just kind of sent the PDF out. Hopefully I don't bite myself in the, back by saying that, but whatever. So again, I'm really sorry about the lack of updates and everything, but this term has been super heavy as far as workload, as far as drama, as far as everything. It's been like super heavy. And this is the last week. Wish me luck. I actually took this week off, but ironically, there was a military course that needed to be taken this week, or that, they wanted me to take this week. And so I just said, okay, well, I'm already off for the week, so I'll take the course. So it worked out pretty good. But the good thing is, if I'm not doing my regular civilian physical therapist assistant job in home health, then I don't have any documentation and notes and things to do when I get home. So when I get off work from doing military training or classes, I'm done working. And I can actually be at home and do what I need to do, and that's that. So it works out pretty good. All right, you all know, questions, comments, concerns, drop them down at the bottom. I will get back to you as soon as I can. I promise. I'm going to try to go through tonight and answer questions that have been asked recently that I have not been able to answer. And that'll be that. Peace out.